does it feel to be a split second away from certain death? To stare down the barrel of a loaded gun on the most dangerous day of your life.
Hold on.
Tonight, Deputy John Engle's traffic stop becomes a bloody shootout.
I could hear the round striking my car. I knew he was trying to kill me.
Then, on the beat with Officer Janan Sabanovich.
What's going on? What'd you do?
When angry thugs beat him to within an inch of his life. Later, when a robber holds up a pizza parlor,
Do you understand me?
the clerk serves up a full order of justice.
I'm thinking, I'm gonna kill this person today just to save everybody's life.
Real people, in their own words,
There's nothing else that he could have done to put me in a worse situation than what he did.
revealed their most frightening moments. The day they faced their crisis point.
Suspect down, need rescue.
John Engle has been a sergeant with the Mobile Police Department for a little over 8 years. June 23rd would become the most dangerous day of his life.
You're gonna get a shot of adrenaline like you've never had before. You get struck with fear, but you battle through that. You keep your mind focused on what you got to do, your task in front of you.
Sergeant Engle would rely on a combination of bravery and technique to survive.
June 23rd, 2005 was a normal day. It was a pretty day. I'd pulled over to a local park, found me a little shade so that I could catch up on my paperwork.
412,
412.
possible residential burglary in progress.
That's when I received the call of a burglary in progress.
Engle takes pursuit. The dispatch operator advises him that the burglars have fled the scene.
Been advised to Buick Roadmaster.
Within minutes, Officer Engle closes in on the suspects.
When you catch up to a vehicle, there is a sense of excitement, but it's kind of a nervous excitement. The windows on this particular vehicle were tinted fairly darkly, and I was not able to see the occupants. They began inching forward, which gave me the indication they were going to flee from me.
Engle hits his lights, and the car takes off. The pursuit turns onto a side street and comes to an abrupt stop.
As the vehicle pulled to the side of the road and stopped real quick, a lot of things go through your mind, and they go through it fairly quickly. It's a basic action and reaction.
Engle exits his vehicle, draws his weapon, and orders a surrender.
Show me your hands!
But the burglars have other ideas on how this will end.
They quickly accelerated forward. I jumped back in my vehicle and gave chase.
411 vehicle stopped briefly now back northbound Thomas Avenue.
Chase doesn't last long, but things quickly go from bad to worse.
They slammed on brakes, came to a stop. I slammed on brakes, came in directly behind them.
When suddenly, a barrage of bullets are fired through the windshield, straight at Engle.
As soon as he fired that round through the car and it struck my car, it was close enough to me that I knew he was trying to kill me. And certainly when that first round goes through, there's a moment of shock and terror that just rips through your body.
Engle draws his weapon, and through his own windshield, returns fire. When the driver guns it, Engle stays right with him. He knows backup officers are still miles away. But then, an ominous twist. The gunmen don't seem to want to get away. They want to get closer.
When I rounded a corner, it's almost like they had slowed down and was waiting for me. And I felt like they were trying to get me closer to try and take another shot. The driver made a left-hand turn That's when I drew my weapon and I discharged 2 rounds directly toward the driver's door. I turned in behind them. They began return to fire. And I could hear the round striking my car.
The deafening sound of rapid fire leads Sergeant Angle to a terrifying realization.
And that's when I came to the conclusion that I was being shot at with a high-powered assault rifle. When you're in the front of the muzzle, it's just a bone-chilling sound. And that report come at you, and knowing that weapon's being fired at you, it's a very, very sober and very, very chilling experience. When you're dealing with somebody that's got an assault rifle, I believe that certainly puts them in upper hand. You're outgunned. The penetrating power and the long-range power of an assault rifle just far exceeds anything that I had in my car at that time.
Despite the assault of overwhelming firepower, Angle refuses to retreat, and the chase takes way again.
Even though they were steadily feeding rounds through me, I just kind of hung in there. I was continuing my pursuit, and I was continuing it pretty hard.
7 blocks later, the murderous thugs take a hard right and come to a stop in a ditch. Angle knows this is far from over.
I felt like this is another tactic similar to the way they baited me in. I felt like they were going to try and deploy some type of assault against me again. They discharged weapons again from that vehicle. And as I returned fire, they basically ducked down inside their car. I could see some movement in there, and every time I'd see some movement, I would shoot.
Again, Angle orders the perps to surrender.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
I was trying to keep a pin down until the cavalry come. The passenger started showing his hands out of the passenger side door. And as he did that, I began giving verbal commands.
Get on the ground!
As he exited the vehicle, he started walking away from the car.
Get on the ground!
And in what appeared to me an effort to escape, I placed another round in his direction, at which time he got on the ground.
Get on the ground!
Backup finally arrives and takes position
Crawl to me on the ground!
as the driver appears to give up.
The driver began showing his hands, basically slithered out of the car. He went straight to the ground. And he was still trying to crawl away from us, basically in an effort to escape.
If you move, I'll kill you. Do not move!
Officers move in and make the arrest.
So as we advanced forward, guns drawn, I looked at the vehicle, vehicle's clear. I see one guy being handcuffed, and I go handcuff the other.
Making me shoot!
It was a very rewarding feeling knowing that they are caught.
Sit down.
The would-be cop killers are charged with burglary and attempted murder.
Oh, man.
June 23rd, 2005 was the most traumatic experience that I've ever been in my life. There's no question in my mind they were trying to kill me.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
They were dead set on trying to escape whatever it took. And if it meant taking my life, that's what they were prepared to do.
Coming up, an off-duty officer and a madman locked in a point-blank shootout.
I took the actions necessary to save my life.
Then, a trooper's routine pullover goes bad.
All I can see is muzzle flashes, and I can hear the bullets going past my head.
That's on Crisis Point.
My name is Omar Brown, and I am a private with the Charleston City Police Department. I've been on the force for approximately 12 years.
Brown is one veteran cop that understands how 10 seconds can forever change a life.
I would describe October 1st, 2007 as a day of horror that no citizen should have to live with.
Brown is running for mayor on a campaign to rid the streets of repeat offenders.
Had a very busy schedule. I stopped at a gas station right off the interstate. I purchased a Pepsi and 2 snack cakes.
As he pays for his purchase, Brown changes his mind and returns a few items to the shelf.
Another customer stepped up to the counter.
The other customer takes offense to Brown's return to the counter and unleashes a rant on the off-duty cop.
This other guy explodes. I can't say why he did what he did. If you take time to engage someone who is enraged, it is counterproductive.
Brown ignores the irate man.
I often speak to students and advise them to ignore the small things that do not matter and to be bigger and go on. And that's what I did on that day. I go to my car. I continue to mind my business. I'm not looking back. I'm not concerned. There were no scenarios playing in my head. The suspect clearly left the store enraged.
The angry man returns to his car to retrieve a gun. Officer Brown's sixth sense kicks in. He notices the suspect approaching his vehicle and readies himself for an attack. Brown catches a glint from the gun.
Everything for me changed when the suspect approached my vehicle with a weapon and the intent to do bodily harm to me. I would describe anyone who approaches an innocent person with a weapon as a potential murderer. I took the actions necessary to save my life.
Brown knows what he must do next.
Get down!
Any kind of a shootout is dangerous, and you cannot defend yourself while trapped inside of a confined space.
The hell-bent hoodlum reaches for his gun. It snags on his pocket. A split-second delay that turns Brown from being the hunted into the hunter.
Certainly, when you're fighting to save your own life, you must remain calm. You must remain in control of the situation.
Brown is struck in the left leg and is quickly losing blood.
After having been injured, I continued to do what was necessary to protect and preserve my life. And I believe that training and skill is why I'm still here.
Charleston 911, operator 9.
Listen, this is Officer Brown. I just been shot.
Sir.
I just got shot on Dorchester Road. I am driving now to the hospital. I'm bleeding very badly.
Okay, sir. Is it possible you can stop somewhere? We're going to get EMS on the way.
Ma'am, I'm bleeding terribly.
Brown makes it to the hospital and is treated for his injuries.
As an officer, you're always aware that death is a part of your routine, and you must remember that the many people that you love have a right to see you come home.
The gunman was struck several times and is later apprehended when he shows up in a local emergency room. He awaits sentencing for assault and battery with intent to kill.
When I'm aware that my life is in danger, I do what I'm trained to do. I respond to the threat.
Coming up, a cop on the streets of upstate New York.
What's going on?
Outnumbered and taking the beating of his life.
I was just praying that the backup was going to be there soon.
On crisis.
Officer Janan Sabanovich is a new face in the Utica, New York Police Department.
I've been officer of the law for 2 years.
Sabanovich knows that any call can quickly turn dangerous.
What's going on? What'd you do? That's the main challenge, just making sure that you come home safe.
On September 5th, Officer Sabanovich would soon find himself outnumbered and fighting for his life. Mid-afternoon, James Street. Officer Sabanovich keeps an eye on the tough neighborhood. Petty crimes to homicides, this stretch of road has seen them all.
You, man.
A thug has vandalized a store, and the owner flags down Officer Sabanovich.
What's going on, guys? What's going on? What happened, man? When I approached the suspect, I asked him what happened. Come on, don't.
On my face.
The suspect is rude and defiant and doesn't give Sabanovich a straight answer.
And he just basically ignored me. He did not want to talk to me.
Get out my face.
What's your name?
Tensions rise when a bystander also begins to taunt the officer.
I asked the suspect again. What's your name?
The punk continues to ignore Officer Sabanovich.
Yeah, I'm asking for your name. Simple. Come on. Who are you? When the second suspect walked towards me, he spoke with the first suspect, telling him that he doesn't have to talk to me.
We don't talk to no cops around here, man. Get out of here.
I tried reasoning with him, but both suspects looked very aggressive, and they looked like as if they just wanted to fight me. Listen, you're not involved. Go on the other side. I asked the second suspect to leave.
But he doesn't leave. He only begins to threaten Sabanovich.
I bet you I swing on you. Come on, touch him. I bet I just swing on you. Now, hit them.
As soon as I heard that threat, as soon as he said it, I knew the situation wasn't going to get any better. So that's when I called for backup. Go on the other side. Go on the other side till I take it. The third suspect walked across the street. Guys, come on. Come on. They were yelling, swearing at me, telling me that they didn't have to talk to me, that I was nobody. And I was a little scared. I was outnumbered. I was surrounded by 3 people, and I didn't think it was going to go smooth. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. At one point, one of the parties involved was going to leave the scene, and as he left, he spit in my face.
The assailant has crossed the line, and Sabanovich tells him he's under arrest.
You're under arrest. Get him. What's up? What up? Want some of this? Come on. Get him.
He was in front of me, and the other 2 suspects came around me, and they were all in front of me, just punching at me and going at me. I did not have enough time to react to my thoughts. I just had to defend myself. I just kept my hands up. I held one of the suspects in front of me, and the other 2 were just coming from front, from behind, just punching me. I was outnumbered. I was fighting 3 people, and I was just praying that the backup was going to be there soon.
Backup is precious minutes away. Sabanovich is overwhelmed by the violent gang. He's thrown to the ground and nearly blacks out, but knows he must keep fighting for his life.
I didn't want to stay down and get kicked, so I got right back on my feet. I lost my baton. It came out of my holster. I did think the situation was going to get a lot worse. One of the suspects grabbed my baton.
What's up?
At that point, I realized that I could have been dead at that corner.
Sabanovich knows that losing the weapon on his other hip would surely prove deadly.
At that point, my main focus was on my gun. I kept putting my hands on my belt just to make sure that my gun was secured. I did not want that gun to leave my holster. If they had any type of weapon, they would definitely use it against me. Come on. There were people around that were watching and laughing and yelling. And at that point, I did not know if anyone else was going to jump in, but I continued defending myself.
Other officers finally arrived.
When I saw the backup coming, they stopped attacking me, and 2 suspects ran in one direction, and the 3rd suspect ran in a separate direction.
Sabanovich overcomes his exhaustion and joins in the pursuit of his attackers.
When the foot chase began, I was falling behind, but my main focus was to keep my energy and just catch them.
Officers reach the hoodlums, but they continue to resist.
By the time I did eventually arrive, they were fighting just as they were fighting with me. After a brief struggle, we were able to handcuff them and put them in custody.
Come on!
The 3rd suspect is also caught. All are arrested for felony assault on an officer.
What's up, bitch? What up?
I took 30 to 45 punches. I sustained a broken nose and a minor concussion to my head. I am out there. I put my life on the line for this community. Every day I go to work. I never thought I was going to be the one getting assaulted and getting injured in the line of duty. But all I wanted to do was help someone and do my job.
Coming up, a deputy in a life-or-death struggle takes on a drunken lunatic.
The only thing going through my mind was just get out. Just get out of there right now.
Get back! Get down!
Then, a late-night stop
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
sends an innocent bystander running and bullets flying.
I can hear the bullets going past my head.
Stop fire! Stop fire!
On Crisis Point.
29213 18th Avenue South.
My name is Michael Davidson. I'm a sergeant with the Nacogdoches County Sheriff's Office in Nacogdoches, Texas. And I've been working there for 6 years.
Hey, man, wake up. Policia.
On December 18th, 2004, Sergeant Davidson could have never expected what was about to happen. Radio dispatch notifies Davidson of a disabled vehicle in the southbound roadway of Highway 59.
When I arrived, I was surprised to see this, large truck on the roadway. The front of the truck was facing the inside lane, and the rear of the vehicle was towards the shoulder. And I initially thought that, a wreck might have happened. I blocked the roadway. Because of the flow of traffic, I went and checked on the passenger side of the truck because I didn't want to get hit.
Inside the truck cab, Davidson discovers an unconscious male driver, slumped over the steering wheel, a beer still in his lap.
I thought, well, let me go ahead and get him out of the vehicle and put him in my car and then get both vehicles off the roadway. I opened the door. I addressed him. I'm the police. I'm the policia.
Hey, policia.
He was unresponsive, so I then tried to wake him up. He didn't respond, so I pulled on his arm a little bit more, and that's when he woke up.
Police, get out!
But what would happen next took Davidson completely by surprise.
I was actually shocked because this situation had turned totally around on me.
Police, get out!
The driver began punching me to the face. The instinct kicked in, and you immediately start throwing punches right back at him.
But then, the suspect pulls Davidson's jacket over his head.
There's nothing else that he could have done to put me in a worse situation than what he did. I was shocked that he got the better of me. I just expected he's an intoxicated person, and he'd be easy to, place into custody. The driver was 6'2", 210. Obviously, he had the height and weight advantage against me. I'm not the biggest cat in the world.
With leverage from a right foot on the door, the crazed drunk pulls Davidson further into the truck.
He maintains his left hand on the back of my jacket, and then with his right hand, he sticks it into my jacket and starts trying to choke me with his right hand. I couldn't do much because of the way my jacket was over my head. I knew how to keep my senses to me and just wait for me to take advantage of his mistakes.
Outsized and overpowered, Davidson is helpless against the savage attack.
That's when he began to try to eye gouge me. The driver did somehow remove one of my contacts. I realized that he let go of my face, and I saw his right hand start to reach underneath the passenger seat. I knew he was reaching for something, and anything he grabbed could cause serious injury to me or death. I knew I had to do something then. I knew that I needed to get out of that situation right then. I gained leverage by stepping up on the running boards of the truck and allowed me to, provide more power in my punches.
Davidson breaks free. The attacker continues to try to grab something from inside the truck.
The only thing going through my mind was just get out. Just get out of there right now.
Then the hulking brute exits the vehicle, and the struggle moves to the street.
He wasn't getting out to play checkers. He wanted to do something to me. I pulled my duty weapon, and he still maintained his aggressive approach towards me.
Get back! I am the police!
I'm still trying to maintain verbal commands.
Get down on the ground!
I keep on backing up till I get to the front bumper of my patrol car, and I realize that this situation's got to end right now.
Get back! I am the police!
Out of options, Davidson deploys a debilitating shot of pepper spray.
Get down!
The fight comes to a sudden stop, but the madman fails to back down.
So I pull out my pepper spray and give him an application.
The blast does its job. The now blinded driver stops his attack and stumbles toward oncoming traffic.
The thing going through my mind was no longer worried about me. I'm more worried about this individual about to get struck by a vehicle. So I just had to go put my hands on him and try to swing him back in towards the shoulder to place him into custody.
The nightmare is finally over. Davidson suffers scratches and lacerations to the face. The driver receives 10 years probation.
During the whole time, I try to maintain my bearings, my presence about myself. There's no way I was gonna not come home to my wife and kids.
Coming up, a violent gunman gets the tables turned when the pizza guy delivers his revenge.
I grabbed the biggest knife. I've never in my life to even think that I was going to be able to do something like that.
Get out! On Crisis Point.
Eugene Shiriak owns the Paisano Pizza Shop in Falling Waters, West Virginia. It's been a long day, and it's time to go home. But a gunman has other ideas.
June 17th was the most terrifying day of my life.
It's Father's Day and business is busy, so Eugene helps with deliveries.
As I was exiting the door, I see this person with a pistol in his hand coming straight at me. My heart started beating fast. I was expecting to be shot. Knowing who is inside, my wife is there and employees was there, I did not want him to get inside. I went straight for him and I pushed him out in the parking lot.
During the struggle, Eugene's wife races outside.
Do you understand me? I will shoot you both!
I'm thinking, here I am, me and my wife together, we're gonna die today, and we have children. We are pleading for our lives.
But then, Eugene is shocked by what happens next.
When he pulled the trigger, the bullet just jammed right at the beginning of the barrel. You could see it.
Oh, get out of here!
I looked one more time at me and my wife with the gun pointed, and then he turned around and went straight inside pizza shop.
Give me your money, everybody!
With his wife now safe, Eugene summons his courage and returns to the aid of his employees. The madman screams for Eugene's employees to open the register.
When I saw him all the way behind the register, pointing the gun at me, I was afraid that I was going to lose my life.
Unable to get the cash, the robber confronts a dishwasher who doesn't know how to open the register. Anthony, Eugene's cook, stands by helplessly.
When I saw the robber pistol whipped our dishwasher, I knew that he could pull the trigger.
The gunman then holds his pistol to Anthony's head.
That moment, I figured that I would never see my daughter again.
Would see Tony fearing for his life.
You can't really truly understand that feeling until you actually have that gun to your head. Either you say a couple of Holy Marys and you call it a day, or you think of something else, and it's either I'm gonna die here or I'm gonna take this robber down.
In desperation, Eugene throws his chair, distracting the gunman. Tony seizes the moment.
The only thing I can think about is if I took this guy down hard enough, that he'll let go of the gun.
I grabbed the biggest knife, and I knew the knives were very sharp because I'm the one that sharpens them. I actually stopped for like a fraction of a second, and I'm thinking, is this happening today? Am I gonna kill this person today just to save everybody's life?
Eugene rears back and slams the knife into the bandit's arm.
Get out!
I just caught another man. I've never in my life to even think that I was going to be able to do something like that.
Eugene's in overdrive, slashing away at the crook. With Anthony just inches from the blade.
I'm holding him down, and I just keep hearing the whipping sound, and it just keeps going by my ear, and I just keep hearing it, and I keep hearing it. I'm like, I didn't know what was going on.
Hitting this guy, I kept thinking that, why is he still fighting? Fourth time I struck him across his side of the stomach, he finally gave up. He started saying, I give, and I saw the gun being dropped right under the counter. Quickly, I pulled him away from the gun so he cannot reach it anymore.
Anthony struggles to his feet in a pool of blood.
The amount of blood was definitely shocking to me. I'm thinking that could have been my blood.
I just wanted him outside the store. I did not want him inside. While inside, he could have still hurt people.
The hacked-up robber makes a run for it, but he's captured by police a half-mile away, near death from his wounds.
And he had plenty of bullets for everybody in the store. We are very lucky that the gun jammed. We believe that God was on our side.
This was the worst day of my life, but in the end, I knew that me and Eugene, we weren't the victims anymore.
He's in jail right now. I don't know what he's thinking, but I bet you anything when he comes out, he's not gonna do the same thing again.
Coming up,
Driver, get on the ground!
an armed and dangerous man turns city streets into a war zone.
Firing at his head, I'm firing at any part of his body that I can get a bullet to.
On Crisis Point.
Units be advised, the man with the weapon is in the white Lexus.
Joe Morales has been an officer with the Duncanville Police Department for nearly 10 years.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
I do this job to help people, and people that can't help themselves.
Driver, get on the ground! Get on the ground!
On April 13th, trying to help would nearly cost Officer Morales his life. Officer Morales wraps up a false alarm on a burglary call when dispatch rings out again on his radio.
Units are getting information of a major disturbance. Man advised that a man had a gun to his right hip. The man with the weapon is in the white Lexus.
A possible kidnapping involving a husband, his wife, and a crazed gunman.
Proceeded to that location, and there was a black male standing next to the passenger window, which was open. He threw something in it. I didn't know at the time whether it was a gun or what. The man runs from the vehicle, but my main concern was the female in the vehicle, and that's where I was going to stay.
Intent on protecting the female hostage, Morales stays with the Lexus when it takes off. But then, another unexpected twist.
The vehicle only went about 200 feet and stopped. I thought, oh, this was going to be a bad day.
Get on the ground! Driver, get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Suddenly, shots ring out from the passenger side.
Dispatch, shots fired! Shots fired! Dispatch, I don't know if somebody shot or not! Driver, get on the ground!
When I got out of the car, I was ordering the driver to get out of the vehicle and get on the ground.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Driver, get on the ground!
Morales is faced with an impossible decision. The man outside the vehicle could be the criminal, or he could be the innocent husband.
I treated him as a suspect at that point, but he could be trying to get away from the suspect that was still in the vehicle. So I had to treat it both ways.
But Morales' focus is drawn back to the female hostage.
I didn't know if he had threatened her inside the vehicle or somehow still had her at gunpoint.
Morales now knows the kidnapper is still inside the car.
The man makes it to the front seat. He exits the passenger door. He immediately starts firing at me. At that point, she exited the vehicle. I knew she was okay because she was running. I was thankful for that. But the suspect was still shooting at me. And all I could see is muzzle flashes. And I could hear the bullets going past my head. If I'd have moved an inch to the right, one of those bullets would have hit me in the head. And then I wouldn't have been going home to my family.
Dispatch, shots fired! Shots fired! Dispatch, I don't know if somebody shot or not!
Morales knows he's only inches away from death.
2 or 3 of the bullets went through my door. I thought I'd been shot because the door closed with such force. I was thinking in my head, I can't believe this is really happening. And it really was.
Morales takes cover at the back of his patrol car and continues to return fire. I'm
firing at the suspect's muzzle flash. I'm firing at his legs sticking out of the vehicle. I'm firing at his head. I'm firing at any part of his body that I can get a bullet to. I was wondering why he wasn't going down. He was still firing at me. He wanted me to die. I knew I'd fired at least 12 times. I knew it was time for me to reload. I crouched down, reloaded, came back up on target, and out of the corner of my eye, caught the suspect running away from the vehicle.
The assailant drops his weapon and flees, but Morales remains pinned behind his car, not knowing if there's another shooter in the Lexus.
When the suspect dropped his gun, there was no relief. I still feared that he still had another gun and was going to take somebody else hostage.
His concerns become reality. The felon assaults a woman at a nearby car wash.
911, where's your emergency?
Some guy just came and hit us for, like, he tackled my friend and he took my Yukon. We were washing my
What's your license plate on your Yukon?
He threatened to kill me.
The suspect abandons the stolen car approximately a mile away and flees on foot. Despite a massive manhunt, he is not found.
The suspect got away that night, but we have good DNA evidence, and one day that suspect's going to be caught. And looking back at that night, knew it wasn't my time to go.
What'd you do?
These are the true life stories of people who survived their most terrifying.
This situation had turned totally around on me.
Get back! Get down!
Most dangerous.
As soon as he fired that round, I knew he was trying to kill me.
Most desperate moment. You just witnessed. Crisis Point.